Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Devin Singletary. He played in the state at Florida Atlantic. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 63 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They'll run on first down with Singletary. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They're going to try the jet sweep. Robinson with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing his car on third down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the play.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that
one. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Touchdown, Houston. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 21 carries, 127 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Ready? 18, Gator. Man out, man out, man out, man out. Hey, check 24, check 24.
On 3rd down, Herbert. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. Mecole Hardman, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get two guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to. Cover them or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And now this pass brought in by Brown. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run a draw now with Singletary. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
This is a unit that understands what needs to be done to stop the run. And they're a team that goes out and executes as well. Yeah, it's the mantra, stop it, but then going out and getting it done. Two different things. They combine them.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. Carr now 8 of 8 throwing the ball in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Play action. Now it's Carr. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
Jacobs now. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
56 to Mike, boys.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Leo. He's coming, double up.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom. Five in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Ready.
On first down, it's Lindsey. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
You gonna see me and you like me. Hey, watch it. Big grip.
Now a give, right side. McQueen. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Got it. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Target. Gone. Hit it.
They'll run on first down. Lindsey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Herbert. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far he has one touchdown, one interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The end result, 21 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll give this to Singletary running right. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Carr to throw. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Rock it.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
No. Check 99. Go out. Get it.
Off the play fake. Herbert. He'll buy some time right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Hey, Charlie. 56, Mike, 56, right there, 56. Ready?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Houston. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Carl try it again on 2nd down. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders, and this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
Now, move. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Come on. Look at me. Zipper. Check. 53 is mic. Check. 53.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Back deep, Antonio Brown. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr. And Sanders has got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 53. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. They ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic...
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They were winners a week ago against Buffalo. They lead here with a 1st and 10.
Check. He's checking. Crash.
Second half starts with a run by Lindsey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another run by Lindsey. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a... Hey, Echo.
To throw on third down. Herbert. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a first down as well.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And he's got this down to the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
We got to step it up. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Switch.
Five. On first down, Lindsey, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box, and guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Go. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Coming this way. Here we go. Ready?
To throw on second down. Herbert. He's got Smith here. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The gain of 32 that time. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulders.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Let's see who's faster.
Carr completes it, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Carr now to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Herbert. And connecting here with DJ Shark. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. With it is Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3/4 of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Carr, and that'll be incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No, a little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing again on second down. Carr, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Jonnu Smith, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Now Carr again. Complete. Smith has it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now. For him on the year.
You can't stop me.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. On the draw, here's Sanders. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The throw complete to Dorsett. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Carr. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, just kicking a field goal there, that's a decision that could be open to second guessing. You know, you're trying to get back within a field goal, but it didn't work out as planned.
And now you're banking on your defense to be motivated enough to get out there and get the ball back for you. I think if that ball goes through the post, the defense is naturally motivated, even elevated in their mission. Now they've got to find a way to dig down deep and get it done.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing it.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Phillip Lindsay. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
Concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Lutz with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was capped off by a Phillip Lindsay touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So Derek Carr in the offense, down by 12, 2:05 to go. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Carr now on first down. Got a man. It's Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
First down, Texans.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Carr. Robinson's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And this one complete to Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Carr going to throw.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Carr. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. That is caught. It's Perriman. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Philip Dorsett, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win. Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished, but to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game. So for Jacksonville, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.